Hi, this is Dana Fitzgerald in Class AAP 858, Module 15, the Truman Elementary School Case Study. So what I know, Truman Elementary is a pre-K 8 building. It has 700 students. It's in a suburban community. There's 3 classes per grade level and 1 preschool class. I know that 15% of the population is a free and reduced lunch, and 5% speaks a different language other than English, so they are considered an ELL student. I know that reading scores are lower than math, and scores have been declining in the past 3 years. I know that PTO is making negative comments about the reading scores dropping, and they want to address their concerns at their next meeting. I know that the district reading supervisor has visited, made observations, and has also made recommendations. And the State Department of Education has provided a grant to improve the reading instruction. What I need to know: did the principal complete the grant before June 1st? How did the demographics compare to other schools in the district? Do they have the same population of free and reduced lunch? Do they have the same population of ELL? How do the assessment scores compare to the other schools and districts? Are they seeing the same trend? What has been done to increase this reading scores in the past 3 years? Have we updated our curriculum? Are we doing the same curriculum? Is it outdated? And so much staff has turned over. What do the teachers think about the reading curriculum or assessments? Do they agree that the instruction needs to be improved, or they just don't know what is research based? What data is being used other than state assessment scores, or are we just using state assessments? And what is the relationship between the principal and the PTO? So, identifying the problem. The problem I identified is teachers are not teaching using research-based strategies. They need to be incorporating the small group instruction so then they can personalize their instruction to fit the group's need. And also the amount of time for ELA needs to be increased. So what is my plan of action? Strategy 1 is all about communication. So step 1, I want to bring concerns to our superintendent and the Board of Education. First of all, to get approval for the grant and share the plan for the improvement. Step 2 would be I need to communicate it with the teachers now. So I need to present the data to the staff and present the action plan to address the data. So they'll learn about the grant, the new ELA curriculum, and that we're increasing the ELA time. The next step in strategy 1 is step 3 is that's communicate to the PTO. I need to address their concerns in their meeting. I need to present that the action plan that we are doing, we are changing, so their concerns can kind of go away. And what can the PTO to do to help us, the school, and the students? My strategy 2 is all about collaboration. So step 4 is create a research team to look at the new ELA curriculum. So those would be multi-grade groups due to the different needs there are. What are the other schools and districts using? And are all ELA components in the new reading curriculum? And step 5, present 2 options to the staff, and then they will choose what curriculum they like the best. Strategy 3 is all about professional training. So first of all, they need to be trained on what is research-based strategies. They need to research about, with the increased ELA time, what you put in. You put small group instructions, so then you can personalize the learning to fit the needs. Finally, they need to have training on implementing the new ELA curriculum and the ELA standards. So my strategy 1 is communication, address concerns with the superintendent and Board of Education. I need to address the teachers and the PTO. Strategy 2 is collaboration. So I have a research team that will be doing research on the new curriculum, and also the teachers will have a choice and input on the new curriculum. Strategy 3 is professional training. So implementation of the new curriculum can be done through training, research-based strategies, and our ELA standards. So what is best for all students? Research-based curriculum and strategies. So that's going to help improve our ELA instructions for all of our students. Collaboration using data. So teachers need to work with the students every day so they know their needs. So the teachers also need more collaboration times, which they would do it in PLC meetings. We'll be collaborating with our reading supervisor and also our PTO so they can help us as well. More ELA time so they can have effective instruction, so they can implement small group individualized instruction and have more enriched activities. So some examples of data from the case study is reading assessment scores were declining, showing a need for improved curriculum instruction. So they need to implement the research-based curriculum and implement the research-based instructional strategies. More instructional time is added. The time that was given for the ELA prior to this action plan was not adequate for effective teaching strategies. Small group instruction and individualized learning. Most of the instruction was whole group before the action plan, where we're going to be incorporating small group instruction as well. So when I was going through this problem, what was I thinking, feeling? First of all, parent concerns. PTO is a great resource for every school. Positive parent perceptions of school instructions are very important. That's where we get all our support from our community. I was thinking about our staff, talking to the staff before the public, so then they feel valued and respected, and they also having input on the new curriculum and plan. I was thinking about the declining test scores and how that indicated that there's something wrong. So curriculum or strategies, they need to change. So the change needs to happen sooner or later. And then why are teachers not using the research-based strategies? Individualized learning, small group instruction, enrichment activities are so valuable in a school. That's where you can actually meet a student's need on a one-on-one basis or in a small group, meaning 5. I was feeling about the grant. First of all, completing the grant before the deadline. Ooh. And then how will the school fund the changes if we don't get the grant? That is a scary feeling. So unresolved questions. What if we do not get awarded the grant? The cost of the new curriculum, cost of professional training. Where's the money going to come from? Test scores. Will the new curriculum be strong enough to make the instruction increase so that our test scores increase? Our staff. How to get staff to change their instruction. Some are easy for change. Some do not like change at all. So some staff will also need more professional development. And PTO, will the PTO give us enough time to make the changes? So how did I engage families in the community? First of all, the PTO, I listened to them, acted up, and updated the PTO on changes, and I encouraged help from the parents. Input from other schools, seeking out what curriculum they used, asking for input from other schools in the district. Applied for a grant from the State Department of Education that helps decrease the amount of money we'll be asking from the community to input to help us. And finally, collaborations needs to happen between teachers, our reading supervisor, our superintendent, and Board of Education. Using data to respond and communicate. First of all, I need to communicate with the superintendent, Board of Education, PTO, and staff. I need to present the data. That's what this is all about, the data. Sought out input from teachers, staff about the student scores, and updated all of them on the action plan. We sought out a research-based ELA curriculum and teaching strategy, so research group collaborated with other schools on that. Professional development, I also sought out professional development outside the district so we can learn to implement the new curriculum. Using knowledge of policies, laws, and regulations. I followed policies to apply for the grant by the State of Education. I followed the district's policy for adopting the new curriculum. And I sought out professional workshops to support the teachers with the new curriculum outside the district. How did you establish an ongoing dialogue with decision makers? First of all, I informed the superintendent, members of the Board of Education. I informed them about the decline in scores, the approval of the grant, and finally to get the approval of the adoption of the new curriculum. I had dialogue to inform our PTO, so I went to the meeting to hear their concerns, and I updated the PTO about the action plan. And finally, professional learning. I found professional workshop providers to help with our new curriculum. So that is my presentation. So thank you for listening.